Hey guys, it's Saria. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is an ear tutorial and I'm really excited about it because it's different. If you guys look, it's the ears that I have on my head, and instead of doing a bow, I have this kind of like braided headband with pearls interlinked in it, and I did decide to make these kind of Halloween inspired because I found this fabric and it has Daisy and Donald. It does have Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and Goofy as well, but these are the stars for me. So I picked up this braided headband at Dollar Tree, which snaps to Dollar Tree because this headband is cute on its own. Like, I was a little bit annoyed at myself for not buying extras just to keep as headbands because it's a cute headband. But I did buy it with the intent of using it on a set of ears and just kind of making a different looking pair of ears. So I am going to walk you guys pulling off the headband, reutilizing it in a different way, and how to fit it on with the ears in this tutorial. And if you guys are curious of any other Halloween DIY type ears or just DIY Mickey ears in general, I have over 60 tutorials on my channel, and I will link the playlist down below for you guys. Without any more chit chat, let's jump into this tutorial. So starting off with the Dollar Tree headband, it is super beautiful. It's like this satiny fabric with these intermittent pearls attached to it. I am just going to very carefully peel this off of the headband. I will tell you guys I made a second version of these with a pink version of the headband, and the headband was actually already falling off at the store. And because it was already falling off, they actually gave me a further discount on it, so it was even cheaper. Anyway, so just go ahead and peel it off. It is just hot glued on, but the ends can be a little tricky, so just take your time. And I'm going to be using this headband. Now, some people might say, Saria, you had a headband right there. Why didn't you use that? I don't like those headbands. They hurt my head. And then I'm also going to be using this fabric that I picked up at Joanns. Joanns has so many super cute Halloween fabrics to check out that are Disney specific. And then I'm just tracing my ear cutting line template, which is the largest template, and cutting that out using my rotary blade and mat. You can, of course, use fabric scissors, no problem there. You don't need to have this mat to do this project. And then when you are tracing the template onto the fabric, just make sure that you are centering whatever you want to be shown off. So for example, I'm cutting out one of the back of my ears, and I really wanted Goofy to be in the center. Then I'm taking my foam and batting template and tracing 4 of those onto cardboard, and I will be cutting those out as well. Now, if you use a really thick marker to trace these, make sure that you cut right on the line or inside of the line, otherwise your ears will be a little bit larger. Unless, of course, you want larger ears, then cut on the outside of the line. I like to use an X-Acto knife most of the time on my cutting mat, but you can also use scissors for this. Next, we're going to be tracing the ear cutting line template again, which is that largest one that we used on the Halloween fabric earlier, and we're going to be tracing 4 of those again onto a single sheet of felt. I like to pick my felt up at Walmart because it's only 22 cents. And then I go ahead and cut that out with my rotary blade as well. So at this point, you should have 4 felt pieces, 4 fabric pieces, and 4 cardboard pieces, and next we will be assembling them. So once I have that all cut out, I am going to start by attaching my felt to the cardboard. So I'm just doing a thin line of hot glue and then folding my felt over and tapping it down onto the cardboard. The reason we're doing it this way is because this provides more padding for your fabric and lets it look a little bit nicer and neater as opposed to just attaching the fabric to the cardboard, which can look a little cheap. You also can look at some of my older ear tutorials in which I don't use felt. I actually do use polyfill, which is stuffing, in order to make a super full ear. This is just my preferred method. After the felt is all attached, then I'm going to go ahead and start attaching the fabric in the exact same method, doing small lines of hot glue and then folding over my fabric into the hot glue. Make sure that you're pulling your fabric tight so that it doesn't have any wrinkles or creases when you flip the ear over. By the way, this little hot glue finger cover I'm using is from Dollar Tree. They sell them in a 3-pack. So next, obviously, we need to close up the bottom of our ear, so I'm just going to snip the excess fabric off and then also snip down the center of the fabric so that when I fold this up into the hot glue, I can do it in 2 halves. If I am moving a little fast for you guys, again, I've got tons of ear tutorials where I go slower. I'm just trying to speed through this one a little bit because this is the method that I usually do.
And we have our girl Daisy. So now you have two halves because you've repeated the steps, and you're going to go ahead and hot glue those all together. So I'm applying a pretty good amount of hot glue, but trying to keep it away from the edges of my ear because I don't want it to ooze out and get all over the fabric. And then once I have that all firmly connected, I'm just gonna press really hard and then put something heavy on top of it because I need to keep going. Once that's all dry, I'm gonna do a little bit of hot glue and start adding my trim. I love this type of trim where it's got little tassels or little pom-poms. I think it is so pretty. It finishes off pretty much any ear design very, very nicely. You can pick this up at Joann's, Hobby Lobby. This one I think might be from Amazon. But it's super cute. I liked the yellow because it reminded me kind of like candy corn with the orange color of the fabric. Yeah. So now the trim is all attached, and then you will repeat all of these steps to make a second ear. Make sure that your tassels face the way that you want. That's something I should point out. After you have both ears made, then you're gonna go ahead and attach these to your headband first. So I am using my ear spacing template. As you can see, that's that piece of paper I'm laying these down on. I do have this linked in the description box permanently for you guys, along with all of the ear templates that I used in this tutorial. Now, a key to these ears is that you have to glue them down at the very back of the headband. So make sure that they are not centered on the headband, but that they are right up against the back, where if you lay them flat on the table, the ear is actually touching the table. This is very important because it's going to leave room for that braided headband. If you put these in the center, then the headband's not going to fit. So now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I do firmly press these down on the headband for at least 30 seconds because I really want to allow my hot glue to set and dry. And if you pull them up sooner than that, then they might peel off in the future. So now I've left myself plenty of space to glue down this headband, well, the braided headband. And I'm going to start off by actually inserting the feet of the headband into the pockets of the braided portion. I need different words. I literally just tucked in the ends of the headband into the braided headband. And now I'm going to go ahead and start gluing it down. So I started in the center and I just did a small dot of hot glue, but unfortunately I did get some on the satin fabric, so you can see me picking it off right there. And next I'm going to just go in with small segments, just putting in a little bit of hot glue and then firmly pressing down the braided headband onto the hard headband. This is a time where I would say less is more. Like, you would rather go in and put glue into a bunch of different spots a little bit at a time than put a ton of glue and it oozes and gets all over this really pretty headband. I also put glue on the ends, so even though I had already stuck the little feet in, I still did go in and reinforce it with glue. Now, as I was showing these off, I realized one of these pearls is not sticking out the way that I wish it would, so I kind of tugged on it a little bit, and now I'm just using my hot glue to fold down the fabric in order to allow that pearl to pop up a little bit more. Just mess around with it carefully, and you should be able to get the look you want.